Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. It is by Higher Secondary School Sogam. As you know, our subject is zoology, and our today's topic is cell theory or futures of cell theory. Dear students, our today's topic is futures of cell theory. The first point is that Louis Pasteur, a scientist in 1862, proved that life is originated from cell. It means a scientist whose name was Louis Pasteur. As per the statement of Louis Pasteur, he says in his statement that I have proved in 1862 that the life of every organism, life of every organism is originated from cell. This is the most important point, and this is the most important feature that, as per his statement, he proved it. He proved it in 1862 that, and he says in his statement that the life is completely originated from the cell. This is the most important point, that the life is originated from the cell. He says a very huge statement that life is originated from the cell. And Haeckel in 1866 established that nucleus store and transmit hereditary traits in the cell. And Haeckel, the another scientist, another biologist, he says that he established it that the nucleus store and transmit the hereditary traits from one generation to the next generation in the cell. Now we will discuss the features. What are the features? What are the important features of the cell one by one? The first feature is that all the organisms are composed of cells and their products. The first feature is that, my dear students, if you are getting my pointers, if you are with me, it is the first feature that all the organisms are composed of cells and their products. No doubt, every organism is the living world. It is composed of completely either by the cell or by their products. Though all the organisms are composed of cells and their product, it is the first feature of the cell theory. The second feature is that all the cells are alike in their nature, or in the other words, we can say that all the cells are alike in their chemistry and physiology. My dear students, all the cells are alike in their chemistry and in their physiology. This is the second feature of the cell theory. The first feature is that all the organisms are composed of cells and their products. That means the cells and the cell products. And the second feature is that all the cells are alike in their chemistry and in their physiology. You may know what is the chemistry. I have already told you what is the chemistry and what is the physiology. The third point of the cell theory is that activities of an organism, activities of every organism are the same total of the activities of cell and their products. Though means activity of, what are the activities, what are the total activities of an organism? It means that activities of every organism are the sum total activities of a cell or its products. The Then the modern vision of cell theory. What is the modern vision of this cell theory? As per the modern vision of the cell theory is concerned, the first point of the modern vision of the cell theory is that it is also called as doctrine or cell principle. This modern vision of the cell theory is also called as doctrine or cell principle. So cell principle means cell ke usul. The second feature is that body of all the organisms are made up of cells and their products. अगर हम body की बात करेंगे, every organism's body, I have already told you that every organism is composed of the cell and their product, but the modern vision also clears it that bodies of all the organisms are completely made of cell and their products. The third point is every cell is composed of protoplasm. Every cell. अब हम सेल की बात करेंगे, every cell is composed of protoplasm, nucleus, organelles, and membrane coverings. Though it is clear to you now that every cell is composed of protoplasm, having a nucleus, having organelles, and membrane coverings. Then the next point of this cell theory is that cell can survive independently and the organs cannot. It is very important point that if we talk about the cell, cell can survive independently in every organism's body, but the cell organelles cannot survive independently. The next point is that life exists only in cells. Life exists only in cells. If there are no cells, no life exists. It is clear. It is crystal clear. Now life exists only in cells because all the activities of life are performed by cells. Now it is crystal clear that how cells are important in the body of every organism. That life exists only in cells because all the activities of the life are performed in by cells. Now the next point, there's the seventh point is that growth of an organism. If we take about the growth, every organism's growth involves growth and multiplication of cells. As per the growth and multiplication of cells are concerned, the growth of an organism is completely dependent upon it. Now the next point is genetic information. Genetic information is stored and expressed in cells. And if we talk about the viruses, viruses do not easily fit in these in the parameters of the true cells. If there are true cells, the viruses cannot fit easily in these parameters. These are some features of cell theory. Next day, inshallah, we will continue it with new days. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.